Hi there. Happy Women's History Month 2026. This is Dr. Leonie H. Mattison with the Achieve Intentional Transformation podcast, and I am out on my walk today and wanted to pause for a moment to share a reflection on the wisdom within using my T.H.R.E.A.D thread system, just a little bit of the story, and also to honor Women's History Month. Women's History Month invites us to remember the women whose courage, vision, and persistency helped shape the path we walk today. We speak of the names pioneers, leaders, advocates, teachers, and healers. Women who moved history forward in ways both visible and unseen. But this month also invites a quite a kind of reflection. Because the story of women is not only written in public milestones, it is also written in the interior life, in the quiet strength women have carried, in the wisdom passed between generations, in the ways women have learned to transform hardship into meaning. And over time, I have come to understand something that sits at the center of my work and my life. And that is, within every person lives a deep well of wisdom, what many traditions simply call the voice of soul. Yet in a world where it is so noisy, constant distraction, many of us move so quickly that we lose contact with that inner knowing. And so the thread system grew out of that realization, and it is not a technique for fixing ourselves. It is a practice of remembering ourselves. So I want you to remember who you are today. Number one, begin by thinking deeply. Create enough stillness to hear what the soul has been trying to say beneath the surface of your busy life. Number two, harvest wisdom. Recognize that even your hardest experiences carry insight when you're willing to sit with them long enough to learn. Three, release patterns. I'm talking about the old reactions, the fears and assumptions that once protected you but now limit who you are becoming. 4, enlist allies. Because the journey toward wholeness has never been meant to be walked alone. Number 5, adopt change, allowing life itself to shape you into a stronger, wiser human being. And eventually, you'll begin to design wholeness, weaving together the many pieces of your story into something coherent, grounded, and life-giving. Long before I ever put words to that process, my grandmother was teaching me for many years through quilting. And she would gather scraps of fabric, pieces left over, pieces worn thin, pieces that looked like they no longer belonged anywhere. But she never saw them as waste. She saw them as possibility. And patiently she would begin stitching them together piece by piece. At first the pieces looked random, even mismatched, but as her hands worked, a pattern slowly began to emerge. Color met color, shape met shape, and what once appeared old started revealing a new design. And over time, guess what? Those scraps became something beautiful, my friend. Ow! A quilt that could warm a family for generations. These branches. Only later did I realize that my grandmother was showing me something about the human journey. Leadership and life rarely unfolds in clean lines. Most of us carry pieces of joy, disappointment, strength, uncertainty, clarity, and confusion. There are moments we would gladly keep and moments we wish we could leave behind. But here's the thing, my friends. The soul has its own intelligence. If we're willing to sit, listen, reflect, and continue the work of stitching our lives together, even the fragments begin to find their place. What once felt broken becomes part of the pattern. And what once felt unfinished, my friends, becomes part of the design. This is one of the hidden legacies women have carried across generations. The capacity to take raw materials of life and weave them into meaning. Oof! So during Women's History Month, my friends, as we celebrate women who came before us, we're also invited to remember something essential. And I want you to remember this, my friends. The wisdom we admire in others is not separated from us. It lives within us. That wisdom is waiting for stillness, waiting for attention, waiting for us to trust the quiet voice of the soul. And when we do, my friends, when we listen deeply and weave our lives with intention, we do more than honor Women's History Month. We continue it. So happy Women's History Month 2026 to all of you. Take care now, my friends.